They're not deporting minorities, they're deporting lawbreakers. Really? You don't say. I've never seen a school shooter be deported to Europe. Because according to the US right now, it doesn't matter if you were born on US soil. If you are a descendant of an immigrant, they can and they will deport you. And if you think you're not immigrants because you're white, well, let's see. On average, the US experiences more sun exposure than European countries. Eumelanin is the pigment specifically found in darker skin tones that acts as a natural sunscreen that absorbs the sun's UV radiation, preventing it from penetrating deeper levels of the skin, damaging your cells and DNA. It makes sense that whoever would inhabit this land would possess that melanin to protect them from the conditions of their environment. Fish have gills to survive in water. Turtles have shells to protect them from predators. Native Americans had melanin because their native land had high levels of sun exposure. Europe is cloudy for a reason. So every time that you get sunburn in America, let that be your reminder that nobody is more of an immigrant here than you. Y'all sailed some seas, crossed some borders, and made a way just like everybody else. And we're all here now. Then y'all so angry about our tax dollars, but you don't even realize we shouldn't be paying taxes in the first damn place. Because the people causing the division of this united country, they're not paying taxes, their wives aren't being deported, and they're committing crimes. 34 felonies, might I add. And they're not going to prison. They are not concerned about illegalities or criminals because if they were, why would we have one for a president?
So you know how the Trump administration is holding all these press conferences and they're like, we're winning, we're bombing ships, we're threatening to go into another country, we're winning so much. Oh, look, this one brown-skinned person has a horrible track record, we're winning. And then MAGA supporters are like, oh my God, all this winning. They're not winning and they're pissed. So here's what Fox News doesn't want you to know. So companies in the United States are taking a huge hit. Let's just focus on BlackRock, okay? The big American finance giant. They just lost $17 billion. Why did they lose $17 billion? Because a giant Dutch pension fund withdrew their investment in BlackRock. Why? Why did they do that? Because BlackRock de-emphasized climate and social justice initiatives to cater to Trump's agenda. And then this pissed off the Trump administration. Morgan Stanley, another financial giant, just undertook a huge study. They pulled a shit ton of individual investors in U.S. companies, and 80% of them said that they want companies like BlackRock and any other companies they choose to invest in to have climate change initiatives. They believe climate change is real. They're upset at all these companies capitulating to this dumbass administration. They believe in climate change. 80% of them. So they're putting their own pressure on companies, withdrawing money, investing elsewhere in companies that have the balls to stand up to this administration. Trump, their administration is not happy. And then here's a big one. Trump is so pissed off, he even posted about it. A Norway wealth fund worth $2 trillion just sold their stake in Caterpillar. U.S. equipment manufacturer Caterpillar. Yep. Just sold all of their shares. Why? Because Israel purchases Caterpillar equipment to undertake the big G word. Yeah, Norway divested in a bunch of Israel banks and investments as well for the same reason. This pissed off MAGA so much that Lindsey Graham just went on a tirade. We're going to put even more tariffs on you, Norway, and we're going to revoke, all of your visas to come here and everything like that. They are piss. Meanwhile, other investors are having this conversation across the board. Fox News is not letting you know about this. They have seen a titanic shift of other countries investing in American markets, meaning they're not. They're pulling out. They're not investing in American companies. The U.S. exceptionalism has been single-handedly destroyed by this administration. And other, especially dictator countries are more than happy to step in and fill the gap, and they are. And these investors, U.S. investors, are saying it's not going to return because European stocks, Hong Kong stocks, all these stocks are soaring, and they love it. And now everybody's buying in to other countries' investments, and they're completely bypassing the United States. And the final message that investors are passing around to each other is we have no one who's going to help us. We have to save ourselves. That's a lot of winning.
Charlie Kirk's killer, Tyler Robinson, he's not black, he's not trans, he's not Muslim, he's not an immigrant, he is not a Democrat. Meet Charlie Kirk's assassin, Tyler Robinson. He is a white, Christian, conservative, Republican male with a gun again. And statistically, when all of this was going on, when Fox...
Any and all minorities that voted for Trump always think, oh, but I'm one of the good ones. Oh, but I'm the exception. Oh, but white people are going to have my back when it counts. No, bro. Turns out they don't care about you guys just like they don't care about the rest of us. And it's kind of frustrating that it's always the mentality of like, do it the right way, or, well, my family has good intentions. When they came to America, like, they came for a good reason. That's how everyone feels. And so to vote for something that is so ugly and is so awful, and thinking that you as a minority are an exception, has always been like mind-blowing to me. And I don't know if it's because, I came out the womb black, so you learn real quick what the world really is like for minorities, and how I think one of the most disappointing things is that it's like a revolving circle of minorities shitting on minorities, where black people are at the bottom. So you'll have Hispanic people like shit on them because they're like, well, we're lighter, or, oh, we're white passing, or like, we're better than them. Don't confuse us like them. Okay. And then Trump came around and all of this shit, and it's like, do y'all not recognize that doesn't matter what kind of brown you are, what kind of minority you are, you're still not one of them. And then you have Asian people that sometimes shit on black people, obviously, but also shit on Hispanic people, right? And then it's just like, just goes up and up and up the line. Oh, but we're not one of them. We're not like them. We're a different kind of minority. We're closer to white than them. Like, protect us. We're one of y'all. You guys are never gonna be white. And so voting for Trump, oh, it just pisses me off.
One of the most frustrating aspects of MAGA right now is that they're completely incapable of allegory, and they look at our history so literally. So, basically they look at fascism and they're like, well, it was the murdering the Jews that was the bad part. So as long as we're not murdering Jews, we're not fascists. And they don't realize that, well, the Jews were just the politically unpopular minority of the day. You could substitute any minority for that, but they take it so literally, and really it's field goal post moving, I guess. But they take it so literally, they're like, no, it has to be Jews that you're murdering to be fascists. So whenever you have things like, we have a torture prison that we're sending people to without due process now. We're there. We are fascists now. But MAGA doesn't care. And that's what's incredibly frustrating, is you see something which is so clearly a massive red flag to say, hey, we're there now. And they don't care, because our version of 1940s Jews is undocumented immigrants. They are the politically unpopular minority of today. It doesn't have to be one specific minority. It's whoever is politically unpopular in the moment. And so we send those people off to a foreign prison without due process. And due process is the only thing that protects us from tyranny. Even criminals deserve due process, because without it, anyone can be a criminal. Anyone can be falsely accused. And, 75% of these prisoners don't have a criminal record. They're just racially profiling and sending brown people to prisons there. And that's really scary. We are the bad guys now.